Hafaday, welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Tyler Matinani. Glad you could join us. Guam will be seeing new rehabilitation facilities and treatment centers for the high percentage of people dealing with drug and alcohol addictions. As Adriana Cotero reports, multiple agencies are working together to make this possible.
It's not incarceration, it's treatment. We are in the treatment mode. People who are pulled over for drug or alcohol addiction or use do not belong in a correctional facility. They belong in recovery treatment programs.
Helping people see the light to recovery, the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center are partnering with the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority and the Department of Youth Affairs to further develop the recovery bed expansion program. According to GBHWC Director Teresa Areola, the Telefofo Cottage Homes is a 22-acre property gated community with 3 established buildings that have not been used in years. Although that is set to change this year with the help of GURA, explains agency head Ray Tapashna.
And then there's the Telefofo former cottage home project. We've been working with behavioral health and DYA. This is a facility that was vacated back in, I believe, 2015, 2016. And it's completely abandoned. We took a look at that facility together with the Lieutenant Governor. And we had thought about possibly rehabilitating that facility or converting it into a drug rehab facility for men.
According to Areola, in an effort to combat Guam's drug epidemic, they have standing weekly meetings with Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and DYA.
And that is to identify government resources that are either underutilized or not utilized at all and transform them into more recovery beds, so that more folks can get help in recovery.
Areola says they plan to start renovations on cottage homes this summer. Additionally, GBHWC and GURA are in discussions to reconstruct New Beginnings at a new site which will be adjacent to the current Tamuning location and expected to be a 3-story house. Tapashna says this is a roughly $6 million project that they will be providing technical assistance for GBHWC on. Adding to their plate, GURA, in connection with the Salvation Army, are close to breaking ground on the construction of the Women's Lighthouse Recovery Center in Tizen. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
The brown tree snake is one of Guam's most invasive species and one of our island natives' birds, the cocoa bird's biggest predator. Cocos Island has been utilized as a bird sanctuary in the effort to repopulate our flightless feathered friends, but the slithering species seems to have made their way to the sanctuary.
Chances are you've seen a brown tree snake or two on Guam, but the chances of seeing a native cocoa bird in the wild are slim to none. Invasive species such as rats and the brown tree snake nearly eradicated the Guam rail. But thankfully, there are ongoing efforts to rebuild the population. We're making our way down south to Maritzu, where the Department of Agriculture's Division of Aquatic and Wildlife Resources, or DAR, along with folks from the U.S. Geological Survey Rapid Response Team, held an outreach to spark dialogue to promote Cocos Island's biosecurity. DOA DAR Supervisor Diane Weiss.
We've got the captive breeding in the Nilau. And those birds, or the descendants of those birds, were released on Cocos Island in 2010. So they've been successfully breeding and reproducing there, which is great. And it's kind of heartbreaking to hear that snakes are on the island and doing quite well, feeding on birds and lizards.
The island had been snake-free up until around 2013 to 2014, the estimated time that the original snakes got to Cocos. A rapid response team was called to do an initial response to survey the island back in December of 2020. Since the start of their mission, they've collected 37 brown tree snakes. U.S. Geological Survey Rapid Response Team Coordinator Patrick Barnhart.
The first night we were out there, we ended up finding a snake. And so our initial plans kind of changed from a go out and spend time looking for snakes to now what do we do since we've found snakes?
The rapid response team, consisting of 3 to 4 people, now goes out to the island twice a week and removes every snake they find. On average, they find about 1 to 2 snakes a night, but it takes much more than a team of 4 people to combat the serpents from creating chaos.
We've got the cooperation of a lot of federal agencies and local agencies and the university, and we're going to beat this. We're going to get out there, we're going to get a plan, and we're going to implement the plan, and we're going to remove the snakes from Cocos Island, and we're going to need the public support.
Those that travel to the island are advised to inspect their vessels and cargo. Snakes like to hide in dark places during the day, and if items have been stored outside, they can sneak inside.
When you unpack your stuff on the island, then you've introduced snakes there.
Diane says she's confident that if they get the resources to do the job, they can eradicate the snakes. It's definitely not an easy job, but it's a necessary one. She says helping prevent the spread of the snakes and inspecting vessels and cargo is a personal responsibility.
The Guam Education Board submitted a budget request of $373 million for FY22, a very large request which the superintendent says the board recognizes, but is hoping will be offset through Education Stabilization Funds, or ESF, in the upcoming months.
All that out and come to a decision that helps everybody, helps our community move forward into next year.
The board is currently putting together a budget proposal for the $110 million ESF2, which is to be completed in the next few weeks.
And that the state provide a maintenance of effort, and the maintenance of effort is defined as the state, the average state support provided to elementary, secondary, and post-secondary education on Guam for fiscal years 2017.
At the end of the day, the department's biggest goal is to ensure students' safety and get them back on campus, especially for those in the special education program that are in dire need of one-to-one aids. Companion legislation was introduced by Senator Clint Rigel that outlaws and prevents agricultural theft. KUAM's Adriana Cotero has the details.
It's beyond super needed, so we're grateful that it's introduced.
The measure has been in the talks for some time now, and according to Department of Agriculture Director Chelsea Munya-Brecht, the agency and multiple local farmers assisted Senator Clint Rigel in drafting both Bill 62-36 and Bill 63-36. The legislations aim to criminalize the theft of produce, as the first bill ensures that agricultural products are considered property in Guam's theft laws, and the second bill requires all farmers who engage in the agricultural sale to be registered bona fide farmers with the Department of Agriculture. Senator Rigel.
I have been working on this legislation for a while because a lot of farmers have expressed these concerns. The Department of Agriculture brought this to my attention. The Department of Agriculture has really said, hey, this law is not clear.
The law was unclear as theft of produce is technically not illegal, as the Guam lawmaker explains that under the Guam Code it says livestock and animals are considered property, but not produce.
I've been told by farmers that they call the police, and when the police show up, they say, oh, this is not illegal. With that, we introduced a bill to make sure that it's clear that produce is considered property, so that they can clearly charge them for theft of property.
As for the companion bill, it would prevent stolen produce from resale and prevent purchases from non-bona fide farmers. Additionally, Brecht says the certification requires farmers go through proper pesticide training.
Ensuring that commercial entities and private users are buying produce from bona fide farmers protects the community, it protects the farmers from theft and the selling of their stolen crops. And now this will criminalize that act so that farmers can actually be compensated and people can be held accountable for that.
The bills also require consultation between the courts and the Department of Agriculture to determine the fair market value or the stolen agricultural product in order for the best reimbursement to be received. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
It's been years since any illegal drugs have been intercepted by customs at the port. But Port Oversight Chair Senator Talina Nelson says that doesn't mean drugs aren't coming in through the port. Senator Nelson says solutions need to be found, whether through increased staffing or adequate use of exiting resources. She plans to see firsthand what the issues are at the port. Customs Chief Ike Pareto, in an appearance on The Link, had trouble providing information on the frequency of container inspections at the port. He also cited a shortage of drug-sniffing dogs. After hearing Pareto's interview on The Link, the Rotary Club of Northern Guam is discussing efforts to raise funds to help Customs buy more drug-detecting dogs. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend, we have trend spotting, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Hafide and welcome back to the weekend. We have a lot of stories that caught your attention this week, from a bakery closing because of roaches to a drug bust with a tragic twist. So let's get to it. I'm Peter Santos, and here's your trend spotting report.
First up, word of a typhoon on the way. Nope, not an actual storm, but a potentially catastrophic event that could leave many without power or water. The pandemic has set back a lot of our island residents when it comes to paying their bills, and there are still some who haven't caught up with utilities. Residents struggling with their bills have been asked over and over to work with the Guam Power Authority and the Guam Waterworks Authority on payment plans to avoid disconnections. Simon Sanchez of the Consolidated Commissions on Utilities confirmed they aren't disconnecting accounts just yet, but it will happen eventually. GPA is also expecting to present its disconnection plan next month. Turning to our viewer comments, Barbara Jean Guerrero said people should be paying anything they can to show good faith in continuing to pay their bills. I'm sure there are those that just can't, but all others should. And Edgar Lozano shared, for people receiving PUA, there's no excuse to why bills aren't paid. Those with reduced hours should get the slack. Joe Castro added, what's next? Landlord evictions? Sticking with the pandemic, it appears we're on the mend with bars and other businesses finally opening up. And in just about a month from now, we're expected to reopen our doors to the world and welcome visitors. Guam Visitors Bureau Vice President Jerry Paris, however, expressed the many guidelines and restrictions still present are holding back the agency's recovery efforts. During a GVB board meeting, Paris said a broader plan could bring in 30 to 60% increase in projected arrivals. Perez said the current health and safety policies are, quote, one-dimensional and an impediment to the pace of recovery. I don't know exactly what this policy is going to look like, but I think it's a conversation that we should have with the right people to come up with a risk-proportionate policy that can be helpful in terms of providing positive impact on our efforts to recover. Perez also said Guam is underperforming in our peer destination group. We put out another poll and asked if Guam is ready to open back up to tourists in April. 35% of you said yes, let them in, while a whopping 65% of you said no, keep them out. And turning to crime, 3 people were arrested this week, busted for drugs in a Derrida container home. Sadly, they weren't the only ones in the home while they were allegedly smoking meth. A 6-month-old baby was found in a room amongst the dangerous drugs. According to court documents, 41-year-old Elaine Marie Castro, 49-year-old Michael Anthony Castro, and 50-year-old Renita Del Chiguina Mano were charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. Elaine Castro was also slapped with a child abuse charge after allegedly admitting to officers she smoked the drug ice while the infant was in the room. Castro also said she had been using the drug since she was 12 years old. Our comment section was flooded with people upset and angry about the situation. 6-month-old baby in a room filled with meth. I am angry but more so very sad because the baby is innocent, of the utmost purity. To leave the baby in a room surrounded by drugs, I just can't. I have no words for it. Abuse, negligence, evil. Find them all, GPD, FBI, DEA, ATF, take them all down. These criminals have no shame, no morals, and I guarantee you that there are more babies and children in the homes of these drug dealers. Take them all down. Put them in prison and throw the keys away. I'm sick of it. And late Thursday evening, KUAM got a hold of a public health inspection report detailing numerous infractions at American Bakery. Public health decided to inspect the facility after a complaint came in about a roach baked inside a bread product. And roaches public health found. But there were also rat feces, wastewater improperly disposed of, grease and food particles found throughout the facility. Public health determined it was a health hazard and suspended the bakery's sanitary permit, ordering it closed. This story gained a lot of traction quickly. Marissa Phillip Manabusin said, "Oh man, my donuts cut out. Hurry up guys and clean up and open up because my day won't be complete without my donut." Ruth Pablo Gagnon said, "OMG, very sad, clean it up." And Toby D. Gochar said, "Newsflash, roaches are in every food establishment." Now here's a palate cleanser. On Friday, it was a glimpse back in time. The Spanish sailing vessel Juan Sebastian del Cano is currently on a global expedition following the original Magellan Elcano circumnavigation of the globe 500 years ago. Take a look at some of the footage from viewers. Island residents were able to get a glimpse of the ship, including some of the traditional proa vessels gliding along with the ship. This could have been what our ancestors saw when Magellan landed, forever changing the destiny of our island, March 6, 1521. The ship will be hosted at Naval Base Guam until March 2nd when it sets sail to the Philippines. For you history buffs, that's where Magellan lost his life to the natives a little more than a month after landing on Guam.
Now that was quite a sight to see. Don't forget to join us next time. Till then, adios.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
First time I saw you, you blew my mind. I got this feeling everything was alright. I've never known someone like you, but when I'm with you, everything feels brand new.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. Tonight on the show, we're going to hear from boys high school volleyball coach Rod Palmer from the Tees and High Titans. We'll hear from some of the players as well. Sports just right around the corner, beginning March 1st. Everyone's excited. Local interscholastic sports leagues, ESA and IIAAG, are excited to get back into competition. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed an executive order last Friday allowing for the return of non-contact sports competition to resume on March 1st, so long as guidelines and safety protocols are approved by public health. Athletes and coaches have waited nearly a year to get back into competition and have been training for their respective sports.
Well, the kids are really excited. I'm really excited for both our boys and our girls teams. The boys and girls have been prepping for about a month. We need a lot of work. We're very young, but the kids are excited to get out there and show their best.
Boys and girls cross country, tennis, girls softball, and boys and girls volleyball are all scheduled to begin March 1st for ISA.
Just as long as we follow the COVID protocols and they stay according to the rules and follow those rules, we're going to be good to go.
ISA League Director Al Garrido has been working closely with athletic directors and coaches throughout the pandemic.
Probably one of our biggest challenges will be the softball fields. The instructions that there will be no spectators. I'm meeting with all the athletic directors for the softball teams. We're going to discuss kind of like a set guideline for how we want the softball games to look, and we'll distribute that to all our softball coaches so that they can tell their parents exactly how it should look when they start the games. As far as the indoor games, those are going to be a little bit easier controlled because obviously you have to go through the front door, and almost all the same things we've discussed already. We've gone through it. We had a big meeting on Monday with all the MSOA officials so they understand what to expect. We had a meeting Tuesday night with volleyball officials, letting us know the guidelines and the new changes, the new rules. We actually had a discussion with the cross-country officials, and they discussed how they want the cross-country meets to look. They're going to be using index cards instead of the usual wooden sticks, how each player should look when they take off, and they discussed the water stops and so forth, all the little things just to make sure that everyone's safety is taken care of.
Coach Palmer said the Titan athletes are excited to get back to sports and some sense of normalcy.
I just think that during quarantine, everyone was struggling because they're used to where they have friends to talk to in sports. But after a while and they're coming back, I'm sure they'll be grateful for this opportunity to play sports again and to actually talk with other people in person.
I'm very excited, especially with my team. We've been training for this. We've been doing workouts during quarantine, especially, and just excited to be with my team again. Looking forward to competing with other schools, especially with the challenge, especially now. So I'm just wanted to see other schools and hopefully win a championship.
As a result of how the pandemic has impacted sports, GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez has invited IIAAG to team up for the return of sports. IIAAG President Terry DeBold says, "We've been training, practicing since December. Our rosters are complete and athletes are anxious to resume play."
We're going to be starting with beach volleyball, boys and girls, tennis, of course, boys and girls, and cross country. So those are the lowest risk sports. You know, when we were putting this whole plan together, again, this was months ago, and conditions were very much different at the time. At the time that we were kind of constructing this plan, it didn't look like we were going to be able to do much activity. And we were just hoping, crossing fingers, that we might be able to get some very low risk type of sports, i.e. the beach, the tennis, those kind of sports. Obviously, conditions have changed. And had we had a crystal ball, maybe we would have done things a little bit differently. I don't know, but we've made a decision early on to stay the course, which we are doing. And as soon as we complete beach, volleyball, tennis, and cross country, we've already got tentative schedules ready for indoor volleyball, perhaps soccer. I'm not sure because I'm still not clear on the category, how they're categorizing soccer in terms of being a contact or what is it? They call it incidental contact type of sport. If the government allows it, if public health allows it, then soccer would definitely be on the table for us, as well as golf, of course. We're planning golf. So the league, as soon as this is done, we'll move right into some other sports. We're going to give our kids as much opportunity as we can. And I think everybody's really excited about it.
I'm here now with Matua Whalen, former Guam High Panthers football player. family recently located to Seattle, Washington. Tell us about the school you played for and the reason your family relocated to Seattle, Washington.
I'm currently here in Seattle. I'm playing for Garfield High School. It's just down the street over there. My family, big reason we relocated is because my dad's in the military and stuff. But one of the main factors was just to pursue football and just to have a bigger opportunity to go make a name for myself and go make a living.
And it seems like you dropped a little bit of weight, and you look like you're ready to step onto the field and pick up where you left off here on Guam.
Yes. Well, while I was on Guam, Coach Taldell and his Guam Grind program and the Guam High School weightlifting program, it really helped me. I stayed in the weight room all quarantine. Just been grinding super hard. Just been preparing for the move, and it really shows when I'm stepping on the field out here.
And tell us about the division your school competes in, and what are some of the positions you're looking at playing? Because I know here you were pretty much all over the field: O-line, D-line, linebacker, fullback in the backfield. What are you focusing on now in Washington?
So out here in Washington, I'm really just focusing on D-line. D-line. They got me on the O-line too, but my main focus is D-line. I really just I feel like that's my strong suit, so I'm really just rocking with that for now and just trying to go my hardest on that.
How is Guam football, the style of playing here on the island, help prepare you for football stateside?
Man, football on Guam, that's a different animal. Kids on Guam, you have to have a screw loose in your head to play football on Guam. That's the way I like to think about it. Everybody on Guam, they got heart when it comes to the gridiron, and I think that's what separates me from everybody else out here is the heart, just the pride in being Chamorro.
Any goals you set for yourself for this upcoming season?
For sure, on the offensive line, I want to have no sacks allowed. And then by the end of the regular season, I want to have at least 5 sacks on defense and 1 turnover.
And anything in particular with your school, the record, and are they one of the premier high schools out there when it comes to the football program?
Yes, Garfield is a very, very good football program. Puts out a lot of kids, sends a lot of kids out to college. So that's a really good thing. And it's also like the area too. It kind of makes me feel a little. It's like an easier transition living out here and going to Garfield.
I know you've always done great in school, and is football something that you're looking at pursuing at the next level and moving out there and relocating with your family? Is that going to bring you one step forward to accomplishing your dreams?
Oh, yes, of course. Pursuing football and playing at the next level, that's always been a dream and a goal of mine ever since I was a little youngin'. But I for sure think that moving out here is brought me one step closer to accomplishing that.
How do you dare? You chip away at what's been built because you can do better. How do you dare? You chase away wrongs to make room for what's right. You. How do you dare? You stand while they sit and scream when they are silent. You combine your strengths to reject their weakness. You step up, stand out, and shape a new point of view. How do you dare? This is How You Dare. Introducing the all-new Elantra.
And before we close out our weekend edition, here's Jason Salas with your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's the Island weekend, so we got them birthdays to get to, so happy birthday on Saturday the 27th to Carter J. Pablo, who celebrates birthday number 4 this weekend. Your families, more than one of them, is sending you the very best. Jacob Wolford, 19 years of blessings with this young man. Happy birthday, Jacob. We love you. Say Grandma Irene, who sends virtual hugs and plenty of love, my young man. And Lorraine Hernandez. Happy birthday blessings to our mama, Rain Rain. We love you, says everyone who knows you. And on Sunday, February the 28th, happy birthday to Elijah Montevirgin. Elijah Ray, you have stolen our hearts since day 1. Happy birthday number 2. We love you to the moon and back. And a single belated birthday going out this Island weekend to Roel Deshawn Shanko Hortilosa. Happy birthday number 16. We love you so much and are blessed to have you in our lives. We hope you have an awesome birthday with many more to come your way. Love, hugs, and kisses from your entire family.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. And that's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.